Hey yo, hey, I got a serious question, and I want to know y'all answer. Is Sean Porter a better fighter than Agitas Kovalauskas, the Mean Machine from Lithuania? Inquiring minds want to know. In y'all opinion, what do y'all think? Do y'all think that Agitas Kovalauskas and Sean Porter are two fighters on the same level? Y'all let me know in the comments down below. So, what brought about this question that I'm plundering in my mind, and a little nocturnal thought, was that breaking news. Been paying attention to it the last day or two. Sean Porter was offered a lowball offer of $1 million. A million, cajillion, bajillion, gazillion, shabalabaloo. You know what I'm saying? He was offered $1 million to fight Terrence Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying? And Sean Porter kind of blew that off. Kind of was like, get that out of here. I'm worth more than that. I know my worth. But it's opening up negotiations. So it creates some optimism for me. Like, personally, whatever they got to do to get that fight over the finish line, because it answers so many questions for boxing fans uh, when it comes to that triangle effect, that triangle theory. So then you got Sean Porter, Terrence Bud Crawford, and Errol Spence. So you can say, okay, Errol Spence had a tough go with Sean Porter. Be it, you know, be it as it may, that Errol Spence, some people feel like Errol Spence fought the wrong fight. Some people felt like Errol Spence had a point to prove, had a chip on his shoulder, and chose to fight that way. You know, be it as it may. But at the end of the day, we know it was a tough fight. It was tooth and nail fight that ultimately led up to a split decision victory of the truth, Errol Spence. Uh, 11th round knockdown, which, as far as I'm concerned, was the worst we've seen Sean Porter get dropped. And we've only seen him get dropped twice. A flash knockdown against, you know, AB. And then we saw that 11th round knockdown where, when you look at it in real time, he caught him punching, and in his head, went all like this. But actuality, he didn't really fall down. He caught himself, his knee touched, his gloves touched. Knocked down, fair and square. But when you look at it in slow motion, and you look at the way Errol Spence, you know, uh, really playing that punch, where you just caught him at that perfect time, just was, if you look at it in slow motion, put it like this: sweet, sweet, sweet punch. Clipped him. It was a good shot. But still, tough fight. And we have to ask ourselves, if Terrence Bud Crawford comes in the game and outperforms Errol Spence, then we have to uh, reprogram a little bit of what we've been saying about what I've been saying about Terrence Bud Crawford, as far as he ain't fought nobody no top five welterweight. So if he comes in there and he makes Sean Porter look like a Gitas Kovalauskas, the meme machine from Lithuania, if he comes in there and he makes Sean Porter looks like a Kell Brook, you know, knocking him out. What was that? Knocking him down, knocking him out in the what was that? The fourth round. See, like I attributed a lot of that. I attributed a lot of that to Kell Brook is no longer Kell Brook of old day. Kell Brook is no longer, you know, prime Kell Brook. Kell Brook had an eye socket bust by Triple G. Kell Brook had another eye socket bust by The Truth. Kell Brook kind of got his weight up there and had some issues getting his weight back down. And Kell Brook went into the Terrence Bud Crawford fight pretty much weight drained, without a trainer, without a machine behind him, without his promoter, and he basically just dieted himself down doing cardio. I didn't see a lot of training footage from Kell Brook. I didn't see a lot of pad work or hitting a heavy bag, or I just didn't see a lot from Kell Brook. Only thing I saw from Kell Brook was him, kind of training himself and running on a treadmill. And it looked like even the person he had in his corner for the Terrence Bud Crawford wasn't even speaking the same language. So, that's just how I looked at it. And when he got hit with that shot, it was a nice shot, and it sent Kell Brook damn near through the ropes across the ring. But I just didn't give that a lot of credit, you know. But I had to take that back if he does the same thing to Sean Porter. Now he comes in there and he outboxes Sean Porter the way that Errol Spence should have outboxed Sean Porter. And it's kind of like we saw that coming. Some of us will see that coming a little bit, and we'll say, Errol Spence. That's what I'm saying. It's always some kind of way for people to sit there and keep the damn back and forth. Like we'll say, well, if Errol Spence fought him again, Errol Spence already said I fight him a different way, the same way I just fought Danny Garcia or the way I fought Mikey Garcia, and I wouldn't even give Sean Porter but maybe one round. So we could always say that. So it's not going to be as great. It's not going to be good enough if Terrence Bud Crawford just goes in there and outboxes him and whitewashes him. Be a great performance, but some people would say, yeah, we knew that was going to happen because a lot of people already picking Terrence Bud Crawford over Sean Porter. Like Sean Porter's on the same level as Gitas Kovalauskas. Even though we know that's a tough fight. We know that Sean Porter is going to take his pound of flesh, right? Right. Especially if he has that same malicious killer instinct mentality that he had against Errol Spence. We know that, right? But at the same time, if Terrence Bud Crawford really wants to shock the world and he wants to put everybody on notice and he wants all the naysayers to eat crow and start changing the narrative of the conversation, he has to dominate, knock down Sean Porter multiple times or knock him out. He has to make Sean Porter look like Jeff Horn. He has to make Sean Porter look like Amir Khan. He has to make Sean Porter look like Agitas Kovalauskas. He has to make Sean Porter look like Jose Benavidez. He has to make Sean Porter look like Kell Brook. And then we can look at Terrence Bud Crawford and say, hold up. All this time, we've been looking at your resume suspect. Like you haven't been fighting nobody. Then we have to look at Jeff Horn differently and look at Jose Benavidez and says it wasn't the gunshot to the knee. It wasn't that Amir Khan was a glass chin from getting knocked out by Danny Garcia and getting rocked by Canelo. It wasn't that Kell Brook was weight drained. It's just that Terrence Bud Crawford is that damn good. Look at the way he just beat Sean Porter. Will Sean Porter bring the same element to the fight that he had when he fought against Errol Spence? Because it was some kind of a, I mean, I know they was on a collision course, but it was some other factors to the dynamic of Sean Porter and Errol Spence. I mean, it was like beef. It was like you seen both of those guys out of character in the press conference. I mean, they had previous animosity on their chest. You can see that even from Kenny Porter's perspective. You can tell that there was some kind of a triangle issue between Kenny Porter, Errol Spence, and Sean Porter. You have to take that factor out of the equation with Terrence Bud Crawford, because the whole time Terrence Bud Crawford and Sean Porter been talking this, we best friends and we not gonna fight each other unless we decide to fight each other. Now that conversation, or that little, whatever you want to call it, best friend agreement, that little contractual, that has kind of went out the window. But at the same time, would Sean Porter still fight Terrence Bud Crawford like he's fighting a friend or fighting family, where he holds back, where he's fighting the same type of way he fought, where he's trying to, just show his wrinkles and fight like he fought Sebastian Formella, or fight the same way he fought against Yordenis Ugas? Or is he going to turn up and show up and show out and fight with that aggressive, ineffective aggressive, but that brawler, elbows, headbutts, Berto, uh, uh, who else did he just kind of dominate? The way he dominated Berto, the way he dominated AB, the way he, went tooth and nail with Errol Spence. He's going to bring that Sean Porter to the fight. So it's a lot of factors. I can't wait to see how it plays out. I hope they get the fight across the finish line. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's damn near, I can't say it's a 50-50. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I don't want to make this video too long. This is Nocturnal Thoughts. You don't believe me? This is Nocturnal Thoughts. Bow. Oh yeah, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. To all my old subscribers, to all my new subscribers, to anybody that's rocking with me, anybody that's leaving that respectful comment, anybody that's bigging me up, holding me up, anybody that's just appreciating what I'm doing, have a happy new year. I really appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I salute Nocturnal. Bow. I'm out.